How do we get to our message window here?
The message window?
Yeah, I was going to send her a message, but
Chat.
well, if I saw that, I think I'd recognize it, but I haven't seen
Okay.
it. Must be at the
It's
bottom.
at the very middle and bottom of your screen. If you mouse over it.
Every time I start looking down there, the thing goes away. Is that
How can I see me?
the thing with, here it is. Now I've got it.
Deb, you gotta put
Okay.
your camera on.
Aaron's working on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There she
good.
goes. Now you can pull your camera down.
There you are.
You can lower your camera so you doesn't cut off your nose.
Oh no.
Look at that.
Maybe I should sit on some books.
Yeah, you're so short. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gail
one?
is still muted. I
Still,
can't.
you know,
That
I
views
got
the
to the-
speaker and then click it again. You get gallery view.
Gail, did you have anything to say?
Click it again.
I didn't
Hey,
get
there's
the
Dave,
chat
too.
window.
It's still,
Just waiting for Dave to say something.
Okay.
thank you.
I don't see a chat thing in here. I'm looking all over, but
Mine says switch to active speaker.
No, you know, I think you're good to go.
now Gail looks like she might be
Oh,
on.
there she go.
okay, then I
Speak to us.
Hi. We were
Hi.
watching John Thune on the TV.
Oh my.
Yep.
What's he doing?
He was on the news hour.
I just found out my nephew works for him now, who used to work for the governor.
Oh, boy. Huh.
I bet he's making good money. I guess I have to give him credit for that.
Oh,
And I want to stay on his good side in the meantime. So no, he's a good kid. He's got a lot of skills and they're worth money. So that's what he's about right now, I guess. What are you guys having for supper?
cheese and crackers.
Oh. Oh yeah, thanks a lot.
looks like we're done.
Are you having a better day today, Connie?
Pardon?
Are you having a better day today?
Oh, somewhat. Yeah.
Did you get your studio cleaned up?
Well, here, I'll let you see. There's plastic and totes sitting all around. Oops, I just knocked something off my lap. They got plastic and bags sitting over stuff and
Uh-huh. That was
It-
quite a
totes and
rain.
plastic. Pardon?
It was quite a rain. We got 2.5
Yeah.
inches here.
It was just a tad under 2.5 here, and
Mhm.
it came up from the bottom in the basement, so it came up from the floor.
Right,
Yuck.
right.
And
Yuck.
Well, my
So
roof
that's
started
bad.
leaking. I had it repaired with a Band-Aid last summer when I was so busy, and it started leaking like nuts yesterday.
Oh, no.
So I'm gonna find
The
my,
same place?
this area
Yeah.
right here is what was leaking in my studio, and
Mm.
there's a guy coming out one day this week. Probably tonight he'll come while we're doing this and give me some estimates.
Hmm.
Mm. My breakfast nook was leaking.
wow.
It leaked last year really bad every time it rained. And finally we had somebody come in and they found where it was leaking and fixed it. I was surprised it started raining in the same place.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Darn it.
So that your nook sticks out from the rest of the house apparently then. And
Yeah,
has
it's got a little flat roof.
flat roof. I had one of those ones. It was a bane of my existence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wonder if anybody else is going to join.
Enno said he'd be here at 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gail, I made a
Yes,
Mexican
we voted.
lasagna and then I remembered nobody was coming.
Darn.
But you voted? I didn't get one yet.
Did you send for it?
I sent for it, but I didn't get it back yet.
You'll get it.
Well, it's a different county. So,
Yeah.
Mine was, right, yeah, mine was all done through the county.
Mm.
We sent in for our applications to vote.
Yeah. Now, do you have a primary and do you have some local things to vote on too, or do you know yet?
I don't know. I just said I want to vote, send me the stuff,
Good,
whatever.
good. Carl Perry asked me to be his friend today.
Oh,
I thought we already were friends. Maybe he unfriended me and now he expects me to come back
Well,
again.
you gotta go check his Facebook thing, because sometimes those are scams and people trying to get into your account.
That's the first thing I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you were no longer friends?
Well, I'm not sure we ever were. I thought we were, but he probably, I know he has more than one page. I'm pretty sure. He has one that says Carl Perry for Senate or whatever, and then he has for legislature, and then I think he has a personal page too. So he might have done some changing or something. I don't know.
One is Carl Perry Republican and one is Carl Perry Democrat.
I bet. Yeah. He had some stuff on this page I saw today that made me wonder if he had changed parties. I forget what they were, but there was some Democratic leaning stuff there. I think he is really, you know, at heart, he's kind of like Chuck Hagel in Nebraska, who was the state national senator, but he, I believe, ran as a Republican so he could get elected down there, but his leanings were very much toward the Democratic side of things. I really liked him. I was so sorry when he left. That was a long time ago
Uh-huh.
when a lot of our good senators left Congress. They saw this coming, I guess.
he was the Secretary of Defense, right?
Oh, he might have been before he got
Yeah.
elected.
Only enlisted man that's ever been Secretary of Defense.
Really? I knew he
Yeah,
was
that's,
United States Marine Corps, but I'd forgotten that about him.
Yeah, yeah. He was enlisted rather than an officer.
Wow. He was a fine, still is a fine man. I wish he were there now.
Mhm. Well, do you think the problem with people joining is that they don't know how or can't? I know
Oh,
Cindy
Barb's
told
coming.
me last time that she couldn't because she doesn't have internet.
Well, that's a
Who
problem.
was that? Was that Dawn?
Cindy.
Oh, yeah. Cindy doesn't do that, I'm sure. Well, Dawn isn't coming on today because, well, various explanations, but it had to do with that too.
Uh,
That's
Barb
right.
is-
I figured Barb would be here. I hadn't covered
Yeah.
it. There she
Barb.
is. You need to unmute yourself, Barb. Down toward the bottom, left-hand side.
Oh, my button just went off.
Uh-oh. Lawrence is baking
What?
bread or something.
Oh, that's not more
Nice.
like a timer.
Now we hear you.
Okay, good.
All right. Good to see you.
Good to see all of you too. Haven't seen any of you for so long.
Neither have we.
Yeah.
Been a whole month already.
Oh, it seems like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
These people.
Oh, look at the kitty.
Hmm.
Oh, what a beauty.
Hi, Kitty.
He was down.
How are
Maybe
you
the others.
doing today?
Huh?
Doing today? Connie, how are
What?
Connie,
Hello,
how-
I'm here.
you? Good.
When one talks, nobody else can, and then they run over each other. So,
oh, okay.
yeah.
We have
I
to
have-
raise, we have to raise our hands.
That's right. Connie was doing that last time, and she was the only one that remembered we were supposed to do that.
I was at the Watertown Art Council meeting last night here.
Oh,
And I kept raising my hand and they would just kept on talking. Nobody would stop so I could say my opinion, because they asked for opinions and then nobody would recognize me.
Hmm.
I just switched over to full screen, and unless I missed somebody, we're all on the same page on that one right now. 3 across and
Yep.
down 2.
I
As
don't
we
know.
grow, then it'll change, but this is nice, pretty good size. I have my laptop, so that's different for everybody, I guess.
There.
Yeah.
There you go. Now it's working.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I might be in and out. I'm making dinner, so.
What do you
That's
have?
Yeah.
Ribs and roasted potatoes.
Oh, wow.
Yum.
We're going to have enchiladas.
Ooh, that sounds very good.
That's kind of what mine is, but it's like lasagna. I just made it with the Mexican seasonings and different cheeses and stuff. And I put lasagna noodles in and filled it up. That's what I had. And I've been hungry for Mexican flavored foods this week. So I took a page from Lawrence's book yesterday. A while back, I was talking to him and he was doing something with curry. So I made myself a curry fish stew yesterday. My God,
Oh.
that was good.
Oh,
And I was flying by the seat of my pants, so to speak, because I didn't have everything. I had made it once from a recipe a long time ago. This time I just did it the shorthand way. It was so good. I had to put the rest in the freezer. I would have just killed myself with it.
That's dangerous to not make a recipe, because then if it's really good, you don't know how to make it the second time.
Yeah, right.
I do take notes sometimes, but
Very good.
yeah. But then again, it depends kind of on what's in the drawer, what's there.
if I make something, I don't really care if I can make it again, because I figure there's so many things to eat. Why would I want to eat the same thing twice? So I would just go for the next thing. Well, let's see what else I can do now.
Well, Rod stopped at Joe's Diner today and brought home pie. So I just had a piece of banana cream pie from Joe's Diner, and it was pretty
Oh,
good.
my.
That was my supper.
That sounds good.
It was.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to eat it in front of you because I've already finished it off. So
That's the only reason.
the only reason.
You're such a nice person.
Well, I've been sitting here for half an hour waiting. I thought you would come on early like you did last time. So I've been sitting here. Better be able to
really?
get on.
Yeah. Well, I was going to do that, but I was trying to transfer some photos from my computer. They went all to my iCloud account and filled up my iCloud account. And so I had to go to Apple. I was on the phone to Apple trying to figure out, okay, look, how do I get these things off iCloud without screwing up my all the other stuff that I had on iCloud?
Oh.
And so I was in the process of talking to them, and it took longer than it needed to, but I still didn't get it fixed yet. So I'll work on it again. I got a better idea of where all the pieces are, and how they put it together, so I can.
Just buy more space.
No, that's what I don't want to do. I think that's what they wanted me to do, but I was saying, yeah.
I ended up doing that. It costs $3 a month or something.
Oh.
Well, the thing is, I don't need the extra space because I got almost, collectively, I got almost 20 terabytes of hard drive space. Why do I need them? So, and I just need but I do need that to transfer from my iPad to the computer, because there are some things I can do on the iPad I can't do on the computer, and vice versa. And so I'm always switching back and forth between applications to do the kind of stuff that I do. So I need an easy way to transfer those large files so I can work on them. And that's the only reason I have iCloud at all, really. Because it's easier than trying to plug flash drives in and back and forth.
Okay, that's what, either you spend your money on hard drives or you spend your money on cloud, one of the two.
Well, for me, I just like to have it myself, and I don't want to have it out there, because I don't know if you go back this far with Apple, but they used to have another service that they had, and I had all kinds of stuff on there, and then they just decided to drop it. And they said, oh, well, you have 30 days to get your stuff off because we're going to close it. So after that happened to me, I never trust those cloud services to have all my stuff anymore.
We have an,
got it off, didn't you?
Huh?
we have an,
You got it off.
I got it off, but the thing is like if you depend on that service, you got to know that, okay, look, I mean, I didn't lose the stuff. I got it off, but they had other stuff more than storage. They had like you could have your email on it. You could have like special chat room. They had all that stuff.
I started with those guys very early. I even got a .Mac account. I still got a .Mac.
Yes. Yep. That's what I had. Yep. And then when they closed that down, you know, you lose your whole workflow and how you had it set up. Huh? What? I didn't hear you, Dave. I didn't hear what you said, Dave.
I said that thing cost $100 a year, that .Mac account.
Yeah, it wasn't really the money. And even in this case, it's not real money. Like you say, it's like $3 a month. That's not real money for me. It's just the fact that you develop a certain workflow. And I like to have reduce all of those things to muscle memory so I can do more stuff. If I have to process everything from beginning to end every time I do something, that's not working for me.
do you have an external hard drive?
I was saying I have about
20.
5 to 8 terabytes of
Okay.
external drive, and that's what I put it on. But that's what I wanted it on, not on my iCloud, because I just used that for transferring, and suddenly I couldn't transfer anything because I filled it up. You know, and I do have 50 gigabytes of iCloud space. I just don't want to fill it up with that.
You know, the other thing is that Microsoft, they got a bunch that's free. They got a bigger thing that's free.
Yeah.
Apple's 5, I think those guys, the other guys are 12. So
Yeah.
you can.
Well, yeah, I have a number of those accounts, and I have one account that's a cloud drive, and it has like 500 gigabytes. But I just use that I also use that for transfer. But between my iPad and my computer, they talk easier. I don't have to wait until it uploads or something like that. I can see it almost right away. So that's why, I like to, that's the only reason I got that. So that's just to say I just had a little glitch, and so I got busy with them, and that's why I didn't turn it on early. Didn't mean to go into that rant, but I was feeling ranty.
Well, thanks to Zoom, we didn't smell any of it.
Yeah. Ooh. That's good. They have the mute, the sound, and the video. They didn't have a smelling button. So
Next year.
Well, I don't know how many more people are going to show up, but I guess the deal was we would chat until about 6, where we would be eating, and then we start, or
I didn't know we had rules.
I don't know. We didn't have rules. I think it was just a discussion of like, what time should we start? I think Gail asked me, well, what time should we start?
Right.
And that's a consideration.
Yeah, I said the reason we started at 5:30 before was because we first ate a meal. Well,
Yeah.
it's our meal time, but we, nobody wants to eat in front of each other on the, so, um, do we wait until 7:30 or 8 to eat, or do we try to eat before 5:30, or, I don't know. I
10 to 6 now.
start it later and not at 5:30 since we're not eating a meal together.
Oh, that's an idea.
Sure.
We start at 6 or in the future.
That works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we can say, one of the things you can do is we can say the thing will start at 6, but I'll open it up at 5:30 or
Okay.
around that time. And then the people who want to just get together and chat, it'll be like the meeting actually starts at 6. So we won't start doing show and tell before 6. But we can just have like that space that's, if somebody wants to come on and talk about things and,
Yeah.
like we would normally do, when we're,
Yeah,
when we're meeting.
right. Yeah,
Does that seem workable, or what do you guys think?
yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So I'll just turn it on. I'll have it turned on for 6, and I'll try to remember to set it up so even if I'm not there, if I'm, picking my nose or something, or powdering my nose, but you'll see each other, and you just have to remember to turn on your sound and video. But I'll have it so that I'll try to remember to set it up so that when you come on, your video and your video and audio will already be on. So if you come on and you have your negligee on, that's what we'll see.
Now, you said
Well,
6 this last time, Lawrence. Did you mean to say 5:30?
Did I say 6?
Yeah, you said you'd have it set up to come on at 6.
No. Oh, okay. I meant I'll have it set to come on at 5:30.
That's what I thought you meant.
And the meeting will start at 6.
Right.
Okay.
That's
well,
when we take roll.
Yeah, I will say, what I'll say is, I'm going to say 5:30, that way it'll be clear, because you can't have 2 times on there that it starts. But
Yeah,
I'll
well,
say
I'm
5:30,
thinking-
but everybody will know that we'll just we'll start the actual thing at 6.
Yeah.
But it'll say 5:30.
All right.
Does that make
Connie
it
wants
sense?
to talk. Connie wants to talk.
Oh, Connie.
Yeah. I'm here. I'd just like to keep the time where we had it, just out of habit,
Yeah.
changing things back and forth. And if we just want to visit for a half an hour, that's fine. But
Mhm.
I kind of have my alarm set on my phone so that I'm try to do this at 5:30.
Okay.
We were just going to discuss it, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Right. That's just my opinion. That's all I'm saying. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
I'll be
But-
quiet now.
But it sounds like we're all saying the same thing, really.
Right.
Yeah, just leave it like it is at 5:30, but with the understanding that just like we're doing now, we chat about whatever, but we won't start the show and tell before 6.
Okay. Okay.
Our secretary is taking notes.
So who's the secretary?
Gail,
That's right, yeah.
she didn't even blink when I said that. I didn't know she heard me.
Does Jim not do computers? James?
I think it depends on where he is and what he's doing. He
And
has,
I think it depends on what it is too. Like some people, they use a computer, but there's 3 things they use it for. Those are the things they know. That's what they do. So I don't think that, something like a Zoom thing, I think it's one of those kind of things that when this clears up, if I go over to his house and sit down with him and show him, click this button, click that button, I think then after that he would do it. But then it'll be a moot point then. until the next invasion of microorganisms.
Well, I'm really enjoying this Zoom thing. It is so much handier for me because for me, it's an hour drive one way and an hour drive back. It is for you too, Lawrence, for the stuff. But to go to Watertown, it's an hour drive. To go
Yep.
to Aberdeen, it's an hour drive.
Yep.
And then everybody has their meetings the first week of the month. And so every night it's a different meeting. And this is just way nice for me. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but I don't know that everybody else is.
Well, it allows me to have more meetings because I'm meeting, like, for example, this week I have like 3 different ones. Well, that would be, normally I would be going to the prison a lot, you know, but so I'm not doing, I don't have that road time. And then also tomorrow we're having the poets are getting together in the evening, and then Friday we have another kind of Zoom chat. So with all those things, you know, that would be a lot of road time for me. But so this allows me to just focus on things I need to do at home.
I feel
right
busier.
now, gas is cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
Gas is cheap, so the mileage wouldn't be that bad. But
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if there's a way that a person could like buy up gas now. You know, I'd buy like at these prices, I'd buy about 500 gallons. You know, and
Redeem
then
it later.
that would be the rest of my year's supply, I'm sure.
well, right now we can get it for $1.39.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Really?
think that would ever happen again. But
I got it in Fargo yesterday for $1.29.
Wow.
ooh,
A friend of Aaron's got it in Minneapolis for $1.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, they're. I think the average is somewhere between $1 and $1.20.
$1.69 in Aberdeen. I filled mine a couple days ago. First time I'd filled it though since probably.
It's probably free in Bath.
Yeah. They'll pay you to take it.
Barb is wanting to speak.
Lawrence, if you had a tank like the farmers usually do, you could
Yeah.
store all that gasoline.
Exactly. And I would too. When I lived in San Francisco, I met a guy who actually, he bought an old gas station. There used to be a gas station and a what do you call it, a repair, like a garage thing where one gas station did that. And he had the gas tank still there. He didn't have the people take it out, and he filled the gas tank. And he never bought gas in the city. He only bought gas when he went out of town, and you know, and far enough where he couldn't buy it. But otherwise, he would fill that whole tank, and he just drive in his little garage and pump his own gas.
That would be nice.
Yeah. And this was right about the time when gas went from 25 cents to 75 cents.
Right.
Almost overnight, you know, I remember that. You know, it's like you're getting gas at 25 cents, maybe 35. That was the expensive gas if you're doing premium. And then suddenly they had that embargo, and suddenly it went up to like 75, then $1.25, and the world was coming to an end.
that's when we had those long lines.
That's right. Exactly. Yep. So did they have long lines for gas in South Dakota too?
Yep.
We were in St. Lucia, so we didn't know. The money was based on the U.S. dollar. It was just twice. So the gas before it went up was like 50 cents. So that's a quarter up here. And all of a sudden it went way up, and they had to put a paper on because the pumps wouldn't go over past 99 cents. So they had to put
Exactly. I remember that too.
Keep it secret on that.
Why would you need a pump that's over 99 cents?
Yeah, that was the end of the world with $1 a gallon.
And it wasn't even 1999 then.
No, that was 72, 1972. It was,
Yeah.
Doris just phoned and she hadn't seen my message with the link, so she should be popping up here shortly.
I don't think Doris is on our list. Do you message her yourself or what, Betty?
I did today because she asked about it. I didn't know that she, if she was or wasn't on the list. So
Another girl from Watertown.
Oh.
yeah, she came to the meeting at Connie's that time, Dave.
She was at our last Zoom meeting.
Oh, that's right. Because I couldn't see her, I forget she was there. I did
Didn't
that.
get to see her.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Finally started my clock today. I probably should have waited until after the meeting. It'll keep time. It's been sitting there idle for a long time for some reason.
There she goes. Oh, get my thing here.
There. Great.
Oh, hi.
There's Doris.
There's
Hi,
Doris.
Are you muted?
No, she's on. We should be able to hear her if she says anything.
Hi, Doris.
She's looking for herself. Whoops. Now you're muted.
There.
Now she's muted now, so we can't hear her. She's trying to talk, but she muted herself.
Well, I hit the wrong button.
There.
You
Oh,
go.
there you go. There you go.
Too old for this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see your smiling faces.
And yours. Are you in your studio?
I am.
Oh. That's so nice.
Would you like to see it?
Yes.
Let me know if you're seeing anything.
Gotta go slower than that.
Wow.
I love that new painting.
Wow.
I'm having problems with it. There's what I'm working on for my show. It's now in August.
Oh,
Mm.
oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
that's nice.
There,
You have to look down a little farther at those paintings that are down on the floor.
well, not too much exciting down there.
Well, the ceiling isn't all that great either.
Oh, did I have it at the ceiling? Oh, not great. I can't, oh, there I can kind of see what I'm showing.
Okay.
I was going to ask you who that little man was up in the ceiling.
I'll never tell you.
Oh.
That's it.
That's
I had a
good.
telephone call, so I thought I might as well just be here.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm getting around, hobbling, but I'm
Mhm.
okay.
Good. You can drive again.
Were you sick or something?
I tore a muscle in my leg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that like at the disco or just walking around?
Yeah, of course. You know me.
Uh,
I was going to say, you got to start coming home before 2. If you're gonna-
Well, that would help, wouldn't it? Especially with all those physical closed.
Betty,
Yes.
my sister Donna, she's in the hospital. She tripped in her house and broke her hip,
Oh, my.
No.
and she had to have a pin put in her hip.
Yeah.
It was a fracture.
Isn't she, or down south?
Yeah, in Charlotte.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Ah,
I bet you wish you were there.
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. She feels miserable.
What you doing, Barb? Getting coffee?
Just getting my potatoes ready to stick in the oven.
Oh,
He's cooking ribs.
Might as well enjoy what I'm doing, right?
right.
This could be a chef's show. Who knows?
Yeah, you have to adjust your camera a little so we can see exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
I'm not much of a chef. You probably don't want to see what I'm doing.
Here comes Enno.
Oh,
His latest article was very good.
Mm.
Saw the clip of his article from the
Oh.
paper.
right.
Posted that. I believe it was you, Betty, that posted it. It was very good.
It was the Earth Day special column.
Mm.
Mhm.
We're talking about you, Enno.
He's,
ABE.
he's still connecting.
Yeah.
And where are you today, Lawrence? All
I'm
that
I'm at home.
beautiful picture behind you.
This is Rosalind. This is the way it looks.
It's Rosalind. I'll have to come up there and paint Rosalind.
there you go. not everybody gets to come up here, unless we let all the special people in.
Okay.
We did let you in anyway, Enno.
I appreciate that. The check's in the mail.
Yeah. Barb was just commenting on your column. She read it when I posted it on Facebook.
Ah,
I was impressed.
thank you.
Have you voted, Enno?
What?
Have you voted?
You're
He's
supposed to
looking,
vote today?
what? He's looking puzzled. What? Was there election today?
I didn't get one of those when we sent ours in.
Really?
Oh, we do. Oh, for absentee? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the stuff. We haven't sent it in yet, but
Oh,
Yeah.
then you don't get to
Nope.
show us your,
Did you get that with your?
What I find strange is that anyone over 65 is supposed to be staying home,
Mhm.
but they send you this and you have to find a notary public.
No.
No.
You make a copy of your driver's license, print it if you can, and if you can't, you may email it to the auditor and just call and tell them that that's what you're doing.
Oh, okay, good.
You have to read the fine print.
I
Well,
guess I do.
since Enno
or have a nice mask.
doesn't have his I voted sticker, so do you have your mask, Enno?
It is so you, Betty.
I know it. That's funny. The other side is red and white polka dots.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So it's reversible.
It is, yeah. I just washed them today, so that's why I'm so happy to show it off. I really do love it. I don't go anywhere. I guess I could put it on my head.
That's different. That's different.
Yeah.
oh, I saw you drive by the Rooster a couple days ago, so you're
Oh.
going somewhere.
Did you see the heist out there? Did you see the heist that took place right in front of the Rooster?
oh,
Well, Joe Burns called me the other night or messaged me, and he bought a painting of mine, one of my watercolors.
Ah,
And I don't know if you've seen the Aberdeen magazine, the newest one. Tom Black wrote an article in there, and I forgot he had asked me weeks ago if he could use a photo of my painting, one of them that was at the Ark. And then next thing I hear, my niece is telling me that the magazine is out, and she took pictures of the pages, and there's the painting is part of his article. So then Joe got a hold of me and said that was my favorite of my watercolors, or his favorite of the watercolors. So I sold it to him, and they said, okay, how you want to get your check and stuff? And I said, well, as long as we're all masked and keep our distance, we can meet, because I had a dental appointment to go to that day too. And so we met right out front, and it looked like a holdup, I think.
I thought she was serious.
I did too.
I'm always serious. That's why I told everybody at the beginning that I'd made a hot dish today before I forgot that people weren't actually coming over.
My
Well,
sister
we
My
cleaned.
sister sent me this thing that said, I never thought I would go to a bank with a mask on and ask the teller for money.
And not get shot. Lawrence, don't you try that.
We went over to the bank today. They're only doing drive-up window.
Yeah.
And there were people outside too with masks on that would come up and tell you to go ahead and go to what lane.
Oh,
Wow, which bank was that?
Wells Fargo.
Huh. Wow.
My little bank in Summit no one was wearing masks in there, but they only let a couple people in at a time. I went in with my mask on, but they didn't have masks on.
That's terrible.
should have asked for all your money and took it and went somewhere else.
Coulda.
I went to Fargo yesterday to shop, and I have to say that people there are much more serious about this whole thing than we seem to be here. It's like almost everybody. It's almost like a fashion statement. Even little kids had masks on up there.
That's good.
Yeah.
That must have changed because I've been hearing that nobody in North Dakota was paying attention. But didn't they have an outbreak of some kind or breakout?
I don't know, but the Costco, you can't get in without a mask. And there's a person standing there, and if you don't have a mask, they offer you one. If you won't take it, you're out of there. And when I went to buy gas, every time somebody left the pump, a guy came by with a rag and wiped down the pump.
Oh, that's good.
Great.
That's really good.
We were in Kessler's the other day, and Kylie and I had our mask on, but very few people did. And right behind us was a mother and 8-year-old girl, and she just kept looking at us like, "Why are you wearing a mask?"
Must be communist.
My niece in California, they've been wearing masks. I sent them masks about a month and a half ago for the kids and for the adults, and they wear them whenever they go anywhere, even when they go for their walks. They have to wear them there.
When they go for walks, huh?
Yeah, even outside, walking around on the sidewalks, they have to wear masks.
Well, the thing is, you never know when you meet somebody, and it's, to me, it's like better safe than sorry. It's a small thing. And I usually wear my gloves and the whole thing just in case, because you never know what you're going to touch. And nothing's a guarantee that, you can do all this stuff and still somehow, the organism finds you. But I just figure it cuts down on the probability of getting sick. So I'm willing to do those small things. And I don't wear mine in the house, but I'm the only one here.
I only do it on theater night when people are showing up to see me.
There you go.
I wear mine when I go to a store. I don't wear gloves, but boy, I sure do use a lot of hand sanitizer.
Ooh, it's done.
Hot Pockets.
It just got up to the right temperature.
Is it a smoke alarm or is it the bread?
Microwave, it sounds like.
It's pretty
amazing.
wild how we used to eat cake after someone had blown on it. Those were good times.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll become a thing of the past.
Yes, it
Probably
is.
will.
It already is.
Especially when the little kids had their birthday parties and blew with all their slobbers, and we ate the cake.
Well, what about the sneeze guards? They're kind of a joke now too, I suppose, when you go to a salad bar, which I avoid like the plague, except I go to the Pizza Ranch when we have a Democratic forum there, but
I don't think there are any of them open anymore. I don't think they'll have those anymore.
probably not.
No.
In Watertown, I told my husband the other day, it's almost like it doesn't exist, because you walk into Menards and maybe 2 out of 80 people have a mask on. The rest of them are free.
Really?
Oh,
It's amazing.
stand back and watch this thing explode. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
And Walmart was the same way. There were maybe 3 or 4 of us with masks on in all of Walmart last week.
Yeah.
In
Exactly.
Watertown.
But that's what I was saying about the, like the difference between, let's say, Fargo and Watertown. Because I went to Watertown to the Menards because there was something I couldn't find, and then it was like night and day. And in the Menards in Fargo, everybody, the cashiers, everybody had masks on. When I went to Target, everybody had masks on. Of course, Costco, you can't get in without a mask on. So, but then you come to, the stores in South Dakota, people just sort of like look at you like, why are you wearing that? Like you're trying to show us up or something, you'd have that look in their face. But,
Well, I'm glad I'm not shopping.
yeah.
I'm just going to my studio and going home.
I started shopping online. I ordered some stuff from Walmart. I ordered some stuff from Amazon, just so that I don't have to go into the stores.
I ordered groceries. Hy-Vee, you can order and go pick them up.
Yeah. I'm trying to empty out my pantries and freezers.
Mine's been pretty empty.
Don't let them get too empty. Because Hy-Vee just put an ad on the email out that they are going to limit how much you can buy of meat products.
Yeah, it won't hurt me too much.
Me either.
So when they start limiting meat, they'll start limiting other things too.
Yeah.
But I have a great nephew who put on there, he had the Hy-Vee sign, and then he said, anybody needs meat, get a hold of me. Is
I
there
meant to
plenty
go
of?
back and look at that. I saw you mention something on there. Is he selling it privately off the ranch then?
Yeah.
Is he slaughtering it and cutting it up?
No, he has it done in Clark.
Oh. Is
So
that
there's-
his store down there? The Gaikowski? Is that your nephew?
No, Proudy.
Grunwald. Oh, never mind. I've heard the
Proudy.
butchers.
Yeah, that's at Clark. They have the butcher shop.
Okay, yeah, he got some
But
really good press the other day.
Yeah, my nephew gets his cattle butchered there.
Mhm. I have gotten hogs from the Bumpy Road Ranch. They raise these heirloom, I was going to say heritage. And 1 year they took them down there, and it was just wonderful, the bacon and everything. They sometimes take them up to NDSU to the processing up there too. But I know that's a good business, a good place to go. But I think everybody's saying everybody's booked up, the butcher shops and lockers.
Yeah, that's what I just heard here.
Mhm.
Until
Good
January.
for the local economy.
Hmm?
Good for the local economy then.
Yeah.
I heard they're booked until January at least.
Wow.
Well, I maybe just eat eggs then.
My hens are getting clucky, so that means they're going to stop laying eggs. So
Uh-oh.
Well, but then there's time for them to be stewed.
they're sitting on eggs.
Oh.
Nice cupboards, Barb.
Something?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is she there?
Great. That's
In
great.
there somewhere.
Deb might be cooking too. I forget what she said there.
Congratulations.
Enchiladas.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan got in.
There she is.
My granddaughter just got accepted into the RN program at Watertown, so I'm excited.
Oh, very good.
Into the what program, Barb?
The nursing program, the RN.
Oh, good.
Oh, following in her grandmother's footsteps. Wow, go figure. That's great. It's got to make you happy.
Yeah, very.
Oh. Well, I'll grab my show to tell and tell to show, and then when Deb comes back, by then maybe I'll have it figured out where to hold it where you can see it. If you've seen it on the tag site, it's not exactly finished yet either, but I have done a little bit more on it since then. So I'll just try this for, let's see, I better get myself here where I can.
Lift it up.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's the pavilion at Wiley.
I'm not seeing it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where I need to be, and maybe it doesn't
There it
matter
is.
where I am. It's just how it, and then it's,
Yep.
So good.
can I
Very
get a
nice.
portrait orientation, Lawrence, or is it? How
It's
does-
good. Perfect.
That's good.
Are you seeing the bottom and everything?
Look
Well,
it up.
Yeah, all you can do is you can, if you move it back some, there you go. Now we can see it. Yeah, yeah. There you go.
That's the part I am not quite finished with. And I got frustrated there to a point where I thought, well, just let it dry a while and then it probably won't take much more to finish it. The deal on this is I actually painted it in plein air several years ago, sitting out there by the lake. But I think it was a really hot day and I got tired and I got frustrated with it. So it's been just laying around for ever since. But I've always liked the red building the way I had done it. I thought it was good. I've changed it some. I changed the roof and didn't change the structure. I changed the coloring, the light and things, and did some work in the sky. And so I'm pretty happy with this part up in here.
Definitely.
But the close-up, for a while I kind of wished I hadn't put those kids in there, but now that they're there, I think I've got it okay.
I like that.
Do a little more
The
detail
kids.
in their faces, and I don't want them to be I still want the focal point to be back here, where people run that. But naturally, if I were looking at it and someone else had done it, I'd want to get up close and see if I could recognize the kids, I suppose.
Of course.
I like
You got them in a good spot
Okay.
because they're leading your eye back to the white, the focal point.
Uh-huh.
Where is that, Betty?
It's at Wiley Park on the beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just out of the room when you were talking about it.
I was going to wait
Okay.
for you, but then I was trying to figure out how to hold it right, and then I just got to talking, and you know how I was kind of excited when I decided to put some writing. I had that big white sign thing there, and I hadn't thought through to that, and so I kind of made that part up. But I went to dances there when I was a teeny bopper. A lot of dances out there. I remember they had a big sock hop one time, and I'm trying to think of the name of that. Who was it that made Rock Around the Clock famous? Lawrence, you know all that stuff.
I can't remember that back that far.
Oh, too bad. Anyway, I remember. Stupid jitterbugging, you know that? Why did we do that?
Because it was fun, that's why.
It was back then. No, I don't even want to hear the music from that era. That's not music. That's just emotions overflowing and banging off the
Yeah.
That's a good description, Betty.
So anyway, it's an 11 by 14 and it's on canvas, and I'm just about done with it.
Oh,
That's
nice.
my story.
Nice, I like it.
Thank you.
very nice.
Next.
Oh,
Lawrence? If nobody else wants to go next, I'll go next.
okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take you over to mine. Mine is still wet. It's laying on the table. I'm not sure how I'll do this, but let's see here.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's Billy. It's Bill Haley and the Comets made Rock Around the Clock.
Thank you. Google, huh?
I looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll call that one Bill Haley's Comet.
That's an idea.
I was trying pouring today and I was using some chain
Oh,
and it was kind of interesting. But now the white background has kind of coagulated in spots. So I'm curious how that's going to dry.
is it
We'll
acrylic?
see.
What's your substance? Okay.
I mix my acrylic paints with Floetrol and water and that's all.
Okay.
I just do those when I get anxious and I can't think of what I want to paint. So then I'll do a pour.
Well, I couldn't see the painting bar.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
It was there and then sort of moving around and then gone. Oh, okay. I see.
Looks like flowers.
Yeah, that's a very nice.
Flower arrangement.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting on this, some of this. I like to be able to get the cells when you pour it. Sometimes those cells will form. And I've started using a torch and I've noticed that you get more cells when you use the torch.
Oh, really? Looks like you spilled some on
I'll
the
show you
bottom.
right there. That's the best I can do since it's all wet yet. Who's next?
That was fun.
Whoa.
I'm all done. That's all for me.
Okay. Deb, have you got something?
Yeah, I didn't work on the caracal that I was working on that I started. I just haven't done any more on it. I think it looks nice, but there's a piece that's in my studio that nobody saw when, I had the group meetings here. So I brought it into the living room. I figured I'd just show you guys that. And this piece used to be my logo. So I will take my iPad over.
We seem like fixtures tonight.
Well, does that show?
It's got a glare.
Huh?
There's a glare on it yet. From the lights or the something. Oh,
That's
very good.
good.
That's good.
Very good.
Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Wow.
Mhm.
That's not a real type of hawk. It's just kind of a generic one.
Who would know?
Right.
I like it.
It looks like a mini hawk.
Yeah, I called it a Carson's hawk.
That's good. That's good.
Yep, but the hawk alone was my logo for a long time.
Wow.
And the painting is about, it might be 3 feet long.
Oh,
Wow. What is the medium?
Acrylic.
Okay.
that's nice. You stepped back a little bit. If you had to step back, it'd have to be out in the yard probably to get far enough away from that big painting.
Yeah, I just pulled my iPad back a bit. I can see it in the reflection now, so I can see what you guys are looking at.
Okay, that's awesome.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
I like the detail in the claws. That was, and the claws and the beak, and then of course the eyes. You know, they all capture attention. And I like that background too. The way the pine needles and stuff like that. That's really impressive.
Uh-huh.
And pine needles are not easy to paint.
I imagine. That's a different. I like how you get the motion and movement in your painting.
Really realistic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not
Just jumps right out at you.
So that's it. I like the pine cones. Let's see.
Mm.
There.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
very
Kind of
neat.
fun. So that's what I had to show you today.
Very nice.
I talked to Jen briefly a couple minutes or about a half hour ago, and she said she'd be joining us a little later, that she had another Zoom meeting going on or something.
You know, I'm busier with this quarantine situation than I am when I'm in my normal routine. I just so many things to do, so many things coming out online. I don't even try to do them all, but just the ones I do are plenty for me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thought about bringing up some of my tomato plants and showing them to you. I grew them from seed, and they're down in the basement under fluorescent lights.
What kind?
I've got black creme
Oh,
and black cherry and big boy or better boy or something.
mhm. You
And then
got
I've
attention with
also have peppers growing down there, and I mean the plants are growing, and green beans. And I look forward to getting planted in the yard, but have to wait until at least the 15th of May and just play it by ear.
Rod
Right.
said it's supposed to freeze next week. That's what they're saying on the TV.
Next couple nights.
I heard this weekend,
Oh, it's not. It's this week, not next.
Yeah.
this weekend.
Great.
One thing is, yeah, tomorrow and Thursday night and Friday night supposed to get down to 30.
Right.
I'll have to cover up all kinds of plants with leaves.
good rule of thumb is to wait till the end of May, I think.
Oh yeah.
My
And my-
apricots are blooming, and so are the plums are setting flowers are opening up. So
And my
again, I'll lose
forsythia is
my crop.
just getting flowers for the first time,
Oh.
and freezing will not be good.
Yep.
Huh.
What did you say is just getting blossoms?
Can you
Forsythia.
drape a
Oh,
sheet over
huh.
'em? Can you drape a sheet over them overnight?
I can, if I can find something to throw over them.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Most of my plants are small. The flowers and things, my perennials are small. And I'll probably just put dried leaves over them from last year and hope for the best.
I have poppies that are up 18
Oh.
inches, so I'm going to cover them.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have boxes, you could put boxes over things too, and a rock on top in case the wind picks up.
In case
Upside down pots.
it always picks up here.
Yeah.
Well, I'll share. I'll read a poem that I wrote. When was it? Back on April 21st. some of you have been looking at my stuff and liking it. I write some kind of reflection almost every night about what's happening here. Sometimes I comment on current events. Sometimes it's prayers and thoughts for wellness and wholeness. And so this one is called Broken. We are broken by harsh words spoken. We are broken by saying the dead are token. We are broken and too few are hoping. We are in a rift done by ideologies adrift. We are in a rift done by corporate grift. We are in a rift done by too many not seeing their gift. We are the children of God, even though we are flawed. We are the children of God, even though we may not be odd. We are the children of God, and God's compassion is broad. We can experience resurrection if we just change our perception. We can experience resurrection if we just change our inflection. We can experience resurrection if we just remember our connection.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Very nice.
Good. Anyone else?
Well, I took a little class with Mary Buckmiller last week, and we did little houses, little funny houses, and I made 2 of them, but I do not know where I put them. In my rush to clean up yesterday to keep the rain off and stuff, I stuck them somewhere and I can't find them. So I have nothing to share.
Oh,
I saw them.
On Facebook, they were really cute.
Yes, very.
They are very cute.
So the roof and the house have not caved in then. Good to see.
Things could always be worse.
Yep. So in case you didn't see it on Facebook, that's, oh, sure, you can't see it.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was one of them.
Oh, yeah, that is cute.
Those are cute.
Oh, is that the ones then you were talking about?
Yeah, I took pictures of them. Good thing, because that's all I got.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Photographs of them.
Oh, those are
They
nice.
were just fun. Little
Yeah.
watercolors. They're about 4 by 6, maybe something like that.
Mm.
Anyway, she was just trying to get people to loosen up, paint loose, and she had us all draw the same thing, which I hate having to do that. But I was a good sport and I didn't complain. I did what she said, and that goes against my grain to follow directions, but I did. It was fun. She did a really nice job.
I think they would make real nice.
That's all I got.
cards.
Yeah.
If you ever
Yeah,
decide
it
to.
would.
Okay, I should raise my hand. Sorry.
what were you gonna say, Betty?
Oh, I was saying that those would make nice greeting cards if Connie decided to print up some more greeting cards someday for a show or sale.
Oh, that's an idea. If I could find them.
Got the pictures. That's all you need.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there you go. That's true.
I
Or you
can
could-
maybe make some more.
You could do your own where you
Well,
aren't
these were-
copying somebody.
Oh, these were my own. I didn't.
Oh,
do,
these
I
were,
didn't do
okay.
a very good job copying. I did my own right off the bat.
Okay, good for you.
I can't follow directions well. I tried, but I just couldn't.
I can't either.
What did you bring, Doris?
Well, I brought myself,
Oh, thank you.
and you already saw my studio. If I had been home, I had a painting I was going to show you, but It's not finished yet, but I'm not home.
Well, it's nice to see what you have there.
Well, last meeting, Cindy wrote to me that she couldn't be there, but she asked me to read a poem that she told me to look up on the internet. And
Who did?
Cindy Cheryl.
Okay.
She doesn't have Wi-Fi at her apartment, apparently. So she just asked me to read this. It's called Kindness. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. Anyway, she wanted me to read that.
Very good. Very good.
I need a necklace this week. Oh, I think Lawrence wants to say something.
No, I was just
No,
clapping for the
just
poetry.
applauding.
Oh. So I made a necklace this week. Let's see. Isn't very good, is it?
Oh,
Look closer.
See it? Yeah, there's.
There it is.
Okay, it's a
that's
moon.
good.
It's the moon and a little white rabbit and some beads.
There.
And the figures of hares or white rabbits are commonly found in moon festivals where they represent longevity, fertility, and the feminine power of yin. The beads were made by a lady in California at Geraluna Designs, and the necklace was made by me. So that's
Very nice.
Very nice.
That's nice.
so.
Nice.
Let's get that tickle.
And anybody else? Lawrence, you haven't showed us something.
Well, I have a piece. I'm going to just play it, and then you can see the different things I did.
Okay.
All right, so let's see if that works.
Is it on the cloud?
No. I think it's going to play now. Oh, there we go.
Yep. Oh.
That's really freaky.
Wow.
That was
That was
cool. Very
fun.
cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The scene where it looked like kind of like mud sliding down the trunk and the roots of a tree into the creek or the river.
Mm.
And then as it was just about to disappear off the bottom, I swear I saw the back of a human foot on a pant leg coming down on one side. Was that?
Oh, that was, yeah, it took a long time to put that in. I'm glad you saw that.
It's an Easter egg.
It took me months to get that pant leg right.
Get somebody to agree to lie down there and hang on while you slip it down the root.
Yeah.
Oh,
These are all bits and pieces of the project I've been talking about, for a while now. It takes a long time to put it together, but I'm hoping that it'll be worth it. It's all about the dream state. And so there are all these different kinds of images that people have in a dream state, they don't always like make sense or have a narrative context, but all of them have, you know, some meaning in themselves, or maybe people who interpret dreams give meaning to them, who knows. But the idea is to create some visuals and music that kind of support each other and create a sense of otherworldness, you know. So those tree images are part of a piece that tries to address the movement in nature that we don't see, you know, the growth of the root structure and the growth of the tree, the movement of the tree, the life of the tree, even though it looks still and static, that the trees are actually always moving and they're growing. So that was an attempt to reflect that growth even and movement even while it's static.
Mm-hmm. It reminded me of something. If I could have another moment when you're, unless somebody else has something about Lawrence's video.
I just don't get beautiful dreams like that, I guess.
You got to take. Pretty soon they'll have shops here where you can buy those.
We get a member's discount, I hope.
Yeah. It'll take another more after our next governor, you know. They already got it in Oregon and California.
What were you going to say, Betty?
So when I went to the book festival for the only time I have so far, I met Frank Pommersheim and heard him read some of his poetry. He's a professor of law, I believe, it has been anyway, at USD, and also did a lot of representing the Native interests in the legal profession, and wrote a book about I believe the treaty. I haven't read his book yet. I probably never will get through it. Anyway, this is a little thing he does where he writes poems as if they're from Buddha. And I got on his mailing list, so maybe 4 times a year I get a little triptych of these. And this came the other day, and there are 3 of them, but the one that I was just reminded of is called Buddha's Hymn to Trees. Downward hunger for earth's embrace, upward yearning for its grace. Seeds disperse to find their place. And he says that is after Brian Doyle, who was I believe a South Dakota poet, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he was deceased in 2017. So I just thought I'd insert that.
Yeah.
For those of you interested in writing poetry or who do write poetry, Christine Stewart, our state poet laureate, is going to be doing a virtual workshop through our Arts Council in Watertown.
Really?
And that is the first Saturday in June. I believe it's in the afternoon, and when I get more information, I can let you know.
It'll be fun.
Also, so go ahead, Betty. I'm sorry.
The first Saturday in June?
Right.
Thank you. I'm done now.
So I'm also having a group of poets getting together on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Some poets from around the state and even one out of state is, we're planning a get together to read poetry and share poetry. So if anybody's interested, just let me know and then I'll send you the link for the meeting. And I'm also, one of my poems is being published by the Oakwood Press. They have a yearly, it comes out of SDSU, and some one of my poems and one of my images is going to be published in that publication.
Good.
Can we
Lawrence,
just
can,
go to that and listen to your poetry tomorrow night? Can we just listen and not?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Send me a
Can
link,
you-
please.
Okay, sure.
me too, Lawrence, and would you send one to Ann too?
Well, why don't I send it to Gail, and then you can just forward it to everybody on the list.
Okay,
Is that okay?
yeah.
It's okay with me.
Okay.
Would it be as effective on the tag page, do you think, or not?
Well, the thing is, I'm trying to avoid like just putting these things like right out where everybody can see them. So that's one of the ways you cut down on people who have nothing to do with it, but just have nothing else to do with their time except to try to ruin your meeting, you know?
Right.
So, and there are those people.
Yes,
So-
there are.
Just keep it on mute and listen.
Idea what you're talking about, Lawrence.
Huh? Yeah.
Idea what you're talking about.
So anyway, I like to try. Mostly, I've been doing it by people who are on my, who are on the list and who say, "Hey, I want to come." But I will put it out. I'll send Gail the list, and then if you don't hear from me or something, if you don't get it, call me. Anybody can, you should have anybody who doesn't have my number, let me know and you can have
Yeah,
it.
I don't think Doris is on my list. Are you?
I didn't get a link for this. Betty gave it to me.
Okay. So do you have an email address?
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's see.
it is SYMENS Armstrong
Yes, Armstrong.
@gmail.
Okay. And it's all lowercase?
All lowercase.
Okay. SYEMS.
No, SYMENS.
Oh,
Simmons.
Simmons.
oh, right.
Like Simmentaler, but Simmons.
Okay.
Yeah.
At email. Okay. I'll put you on the list.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
And this is, what's it called? Oh, you're gonna send something to me, Lawrence?
Yeah,
Did I-
Uh-huh. Because I have to send a link.
Right.
And then then that way people can just click on the link. And then if you don't, if somehow you can't get on, just call me, because I'll have the phone here, and then I can if you all obviously have Zoom, because otherwise you wouldn't be on this, and then that way I can send you the link or give you the link, and then you can just get on, or I can help you.
Okay.
So it's up tomorrow about 8 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Lawrence, I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you still going to the prison?
No, I talked. No, I talked to them. Through the administration. I still keep contact with
Sure.
some people, but and I still tried to get them things that they need through some contacts I have in the administration. But even the administration is not going in. They're only the people who are critical to the operation of the prison. They're going in. And they're trying. They have kind of pretty strict rules. If you are in solitary, if you come out, you have to have a mask. And if you are not, if you get out of your bunk, you have to put a mask on. They do this social distancing while they're in the chow line. They get to go to go to rec, and that's kind of hard to keep a thing there or have mask on. But otherwise people have mask on. So they're trying to keep it, like as limit, to limit the possibilities. They've had a couple of cases where people have have tested positive, but so far it's been, pretty remarkably, asymptomatic.
That's good.
Staff also asymptomatic or so far? Or
Huh?
the staff, are they doing that well?
They have had about 3 staff, I think 3, maybe 4 total, that have tested positive. They had the first one over in the women's prison, and they had an inmate over there, and then they had 2 recently, and they had another person one of the inmates had it, but he had been on the outside, and he was like, blew his parole or something like that, and he was brought back in, and so, but he told them when he came in that he had tested positive, so they, or had been in contact with people, so they knew, and according to the administration, what they fear is the people who don't tell them, either because they don't know or they don't want to tell them, because they got people coming in and out all the time. And often the people who come in and out are the ones who don't like to follow rules.
Oh,
So they have that, they have that complication. And they can't say, well, we're not taking any more prisoners,
no.
So and they can't just let everybody out. So they have probably the most complex situation to deal with of all of the different cases. But so far, so good.
That's good.
Well, I think our dinner is ready, so I'm going to say good night to all of you.
Okay, well,
Night,
thanks for
Barb.
joining us,
And
and come again.
It's been
It's fun watch.
Good to see all of you again.
Good
Yeah,
to see you,
thanks.
Barb.
Good
Have
to
a good
see
night.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And my battery's about run down,
Okay.
so I will have to go too.
On your
But
phone or you?
well, probably both. But one thing I accomplished in these last weeks was to get a website set up.
Oh, look at you.
So,
Good for you.
yeah,
Link on the Facebook group if you are able.
I will do that. I was meant to do it earlier, but I will do it tonight,
Great.
so you can check it out. I'm happy with it.
Mm.
So, with Betty's help, it's much better than it was. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So I'm gonna head out. It was great seeing all you guys.
Yeah, come back again.
Nice.
See you too.
I will do that. Yeah.
You'll be on the list now going forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Have a good
thanks.
night.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Is this when we sing It's May, It's May?
Less than month of May.
All join hands.
Words. Oh, gee, I guess James put them on his page the other day. I could pull them up and we could.
I've got the words to it. If
Oh,
you-
well, then let's do it.
Well, let's do it then.
It's in the file.
Where's Dave when we need him? Tell him to come sing along.
Yeah, she wants you to sing along, Dave.
This is something that James wrote?
You mean you weren't there last year this time?
Huh?
Weren't you in our meeting last May?
No, it's not something he wrote, I don't think.
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
part of our
oh, okay.
ceremony.
It's in
I'm sure I
celebration of
was.
Naked Gardening Day.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Dave, how's your garden? Are you getting started?
Let's know where your garden is.
Garlic up and the onions are up. Everything else is still in the basement.
Okay.
Well, when she comes back, before she gets started, I thought I'd read the poem that they're going to publish in Oakwood.
Yeah, do that. I'm right here. Just do that while I'm looking through the file.
Okay, you can hear?
Yeah.
Okay. There is a oneness that connects us, a thread that flows through all things. Disconnection would mean a severance from existence. There is a oneness that unites us, a force that eliminates the gaps that seem to separate us, rendering us a discontiguous organism. There is a oneness that that merges us. Harm to you is harm to me. Help to you is help to me. We are not alike. We are one.
Wow.
Very nice.
When will that be published, Lawrence? Do you know?
It's supposed to be out already, but the whole, everything is off schedule now, so it's not really clear. They sent me an email saying that they were still trying to work on it. I mean, it's in the works. It's just they don't know when because all the schedules for the printer is off.
Sure.
Need to hold it up a little higher.
Can you see the words?
Yep. A little-
Sometimes.
Before we do that, can I interrupt one thing
Yeah.
just for a second?
Yep. Oh.
I got
Oh,
published
good.
in here in 1985.
Oh, get out of
Oh.
town.
That's the same one you're doing, right?
Yes,
Lawrence?
yes.
Can we
When I
hear
was a student
Yeah, let's
at
hear it.
SDSU, I didn't do a poem. I did some paintings that drawings. I thought they were awful, but they thought they were wonderful and published it in here.
It shows you what you know.
Yeah, what do I know? I thought it was awful, and it was done in, I think it was marker, and it was 3 different colors. So it was colorful, but they printed it in black and white, and I thought, it doesn't mean anything in black and white.
No.
But it was one of those deals where you left the pen down, and then we had to draw over, draw somebody, and then draw them again. And
Oh, yeah.
that was one of them.
Cool.
And then,
When you going to run for president?
why?
Get your markers.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing he can write with is a marker. Then this was a pen and ink
Pull it
of my
back
work gloves.
Pull it back.
close.
Oh, cool.
It's a little too close. There you go.
Okay.
Wow.
They were all different directions and different views of that same glove.
Huh.
And it was with a crow quill pen.
Mm.
Huh.
So
Cool.
I got published. I'm a published artist. Anyway,
Neat.
that was my interruption.
That was a good one.
Okay, well, tell me, is it,
Oh, okay.
The chorus.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit back, so it can fill the whole screen. There you go.
Yeah.
Right about there, I think.
okay, let's just do the chorus.
That's all I
Okay.
think.
It's May,
We will hold hands.
the lucky month of May,
I'm holding hands.
where everyone goes. Whistling a
Yes, okay.
Ra la.
Hello, kids here,
stocking
the
time.
stocking of year, when tons of wicked little thoughts merrily appear. It's May.
Hey.
The month of great dismay. I think we needed to have that little
I was
pitch-
getting
pitch harp.
seasick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. In 3rd grade, we had an old lady teacher, and she had a pitch pipe, and we had to do our music right in class, and she'd get the do me so, do me so. Isabel Nickel was her name. Oh, God.
Next time, you're gonna have to print that on our email so that we all have a copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It won't be May anymore, though.
I know. Well, next year.
That's right. And we might,
Maybe we can do this next year, but
we might want to know the tune too. So
yeah.
I have no idea what the tune's supposed to sound like.
We all cancel each other out, so we can't hear it as a chorus anyway. So. It's hilarious. Good idea, Gail. Is
Well,
going to put this up where James will get to see it?
oh, shoot.
Oh yeah, sure.
He doesn't know what he's missing otherwise.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Well, I guess that's it then, right?
yeah.
All right.
Unless someone else has something else.
Let's get this over with.
Yeah.
Night meeting with our kids right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All in here.
Yeah.
All right then. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Take
All
care,
right.
everybody.
All right.
It's good to see
See you guys
everyone.
next time. Bye.
Yeah. Leaving. Good night.
Night.
Good night.